nettle pesto time. So this is a dish that has so many applications that really nicely pulls out the gentle detoxifying, the incredible nature's multivitamin, vitamins and minerals, all of these amazing benefits from the nettles, and in literally one of the most delicious forms that you will taste. So we need fresh basil. And look, with the basil, we're gonna process it. You can leave the stems on a little bit if you want to, that's okay. I'm leaving them on. They're nice and juicy and they're gonna get processed all up. And then, so I've got about a cup of fresh basil. The entire house, the entire kitchen smells amazing. And you're also getting the benefits of basil, so just really good for your gut, boost your mood, all kinds of good benefits. Where did I do with my gloves? I was gonna show, here they are. You need to use some gloves to handle your stinging nettles, please do. So I'm doing about 3 cups, just kind of packing it in, not too much. You don't have to chop them too much. The processor's gonna do that too. Whoop. And 3 cups of nettle. So I've got about a cup of fresh basil and about 3 cups of nettles. We really want this medicine, the nettle medicine, to shine in this recipe. And I just want to show you when you are harvesting, so we've picked the nettle leaves, you want to cut off the stems. So cut the leaves, and it does take a little bit, but it is totally worth it. The stems are incredibly fibrous. In fact, and be careful that you don't cut your glove. I've done that many a time. And they're used in making clothes and making cloth and textiles. So, you know, it won't hurt you to eat it, but it's way tastier if you cut them out or cut the stems off. All right, there goes. So we're putting the nettle leaves, the basil. All right, pine nuts. I'm looking at my recipe here. You can find this below in the description. Pine nuts. Pine nuts can be kind of expensive, but there's something about the flavor. They're nutty, but they're not bitter. They have like a creamy flavor and texture to them. You could also use walnuts. You could use pecans. You could use hemp seeds. Just play around with the different nuts that you use here. All right, so we've added the nuts. What else? So nuts, nettles, basil, honey. So we're gonna add a tablespoon of honey just for that sweetness. Also, doesn't hurt to get some antimicrobial benefits in there. Fresh local honey. So if you have fresh local honey and fresh nettles, this will do wonders for your allergies if you're eating these on a consistent basis too. And then you lick the honey out of the tablespoon. Okay, basil, honey. Now 2 cloves of garlic, 2 big garlic cloves. Now this garlic is going to be raw, and depending on the clove, it can be like hot and spicy. So just check with people in your house if they don't love like super raw, hot, spicy garlic. So if you cut the ends off and then you press down, that's a really easy way to pop the skin right off. So we love spicy, hot, raw garlic in this household. And my hubby and I are both gonna eat it for dinner, so no problems there. So I'm gonna put those 2 in. Okay, lemon juice and lemon zest of a half a lemon. Remember I told you I have a bunch of super fun kitchen gadgets, my microplane. So I'm just gonna gently zest about half of this. So now the lemon juice is gonna add some acidity, brightness, a really good flavor. But the zest is almost like it just has this uplifting ability. It is bold, it is bright, but it is not overpowering. Zesty is just the right word. And it adds that little something to the dish. All All right, so then I'm gonna cut this in half. Oh, by the way, if you ever have a hard lemon and you need to get more of the juice out, you can roll it on the board like this. But I've got a handy press. I love this one because it catches the seeds and you don't have to worry about that. This is a super juicy lemon. All right, adding that in. I'm gonna save a little pile of all my goodies here for the compost, and sea salt. So we're getting all these yummy, aromatic, herby, spicy ingredients in first. Okay, I'm working on really measuring because most of the time I'm like throwing stuff in, making a huge mess. So about a half a teaspoon of salt. All right, process this. So we're gonna pulse until it is finely chopped. So let me grab the lid and just pulse. All right, that looks pretty finely chopped and well incorporated. So now we are going to slowly drizzle in the olive oil until everything is smooth and well blended. So I've got olive oil. I love my Costco organic olive oil. So this we are adding in a half a cup. I do believe, yep. So let me get this going and I'm gonna slowly, oh, at this point also you can kind of scrape in the sides. Like there are some pine nuts and some nettle leaves that haven't gotten in there. All right. So I'm gonna turn it on and slowly drizzle in a half a cup of organic olive oil. That is looking nice and delicious. Let me show you here, see what that looks like. So I'm going to scrape down the sides and let it blend a little bit more just so it gets a more uniform consistency. Let's give it one more little scrape. Okay, and before we add the cheese, we just want to make sure everything is nice and blended. The basil, fresh basil smell, it is like instant summertime. So good. All right, so this has been blending. Now we are gonna add the grated Parmesan. You can get fresh. I like to use raw Parmesan, but I just bought this at Whole Foods, about 1/4 cup, maybe a little bit more. Plopping that in, and again, blending until well incorporated. This smells so good. All right, let me get a little taste. That is nice and salty from the cheese. It is refreshing. Oh my gosh, the lemon taste comes forward. You get a little bit of sweetness from the honey. My mouth is literally watering. I'm like, And you know what's so great about nettles? It doesn't have a really strong flavor. So it kind of takes on the flavor of whatever else you're using, such as the basil. Oh my gosh, that is so good. Hold on, I'll be right back. So we are putting this on pizza later. I've got some plantain chips here. You also can just eat it straight out of the food processor. You can spread it on sandwiches. Use it as a dip for your crudité. So delicious, so fresh. Excuse me while I enjoy this. I'm gonna show you. So summery, so good for you. Look at that. Now, if you want a little more liquid in there, you could add a little more olive oil, which I may do just to blend it and give it a more smooth consistency. Play with it. If you want to add more honey, make it a little sweet. If you don't want to use honey, you could use a little bit of maple syrup. Have fun, play. Let me know what you do in the comments. Any feedback, any updates or upgrades that you have, I would love to hear. Enjoy.